Hello, gossiper. Sharona here. So we haven't spoken about Diddy in a while, so this is just a quick Diddy story. So it's saying that Diddy accused of allegedly not paying employees while incarcerated. So he still has people working for him, and they're alleging they're not getting paid. So we're gonna read this article from that grape juice. That grape juice. Diddy's legal woe may have him behind bars, but the drama surrounding his finances is still very much unfolding. Reports suggest tensions are brewing among members of his inner circle, with claims that some employees and legal personnel haven't been paid while he is serving his sentence in prison. According to TMZ, sources allege the music mogul's finances are currently overseen by a business management firm whose tight control has left certain staff frustrated and at least one person reportedly walking away. Still, Diddy's camp is pushing back. His longtime rep, Judah Engelmeyer, insists someone is being compensated. Sorry, let's say that again. His longtime rep, Judah Engelmeyer, insists everyone is being compensated accordingly, he told the publication. People, personnel, and attorneys are all being paid and no one is leaving. Sean Combs controls his own finances. Everyone gets paid for their work once it's completed and confirmed after routine review. Diddy continues to serve out his 50-month sentence at FCI Fort Dix until June 4th, 2028. So, gossipers, Diddy has money, right? He still has people working for him. So, Diddy has money to pay. Now, when people are talking about Diddy's going broke, just like when they said Jay-Z's broke, he has no money, but he's a billionaire, and I get it. It's not, it's not physical cash, but all the deals and assets and endorsement brands, stuff like that. That's what builds someone statue to the billionaire status, right? Not physical money. But still, they're saying he has no money. And it's the same with Diddy. They're like, with all those attorney fees and, fees to pay people to put story out there that, basically they're coming for this black man and stuff like that. So yes, Diddy still has money. There's no way Diddy's flat broke. Diddy still has money. And if it's true what they're saying, because right now it seems like it's one person. And it's like, why put it out there? You want more attention? Is this to make Diddy look bad or, things like that? And you hear, who is this? Is a rep. Says that he's in control of the money. So it's not like Diddy's in prison and he's like, I'm going to be away for 4 years, so I'm going to put you in charge of making sure people and everything get paid. And like they said, people don't get paid until their work is reviewed. So whatever work you're doing for Diddy, if you're not getting paid, maybe you're not doing the work. And coming to social media, you think that's going to what? Get you money quicker? Because now you put it out in social media that Diddy might be broke. That's why you haven't been paid. No, nothing like that. And, we hear this a lot with a lot of celebrities not paying their producers and people who work for them and, if ands or buts about it. But this is not major news, And like I said, they put it out there for people to go, oh my God, Diddy's wicked. What he did to Cassie and everything else, of course, he deserves what he gets. But for this story right here, coming out saying, and they're saying only one person complaining that they didn't get a paycheck from Diddy. Now I can understand if they came out and said I haven't been paid in the last month or two. But if you miss a week's worth of pay, don't get me wrong, I know you have bills to pay, you can't afford to miss a paycheck. But not to publicize it like this, right? Again, if it was a month, 2 months, yeah, call him out. But for like a week, again, we don't know how long this person has been saying this. And again, his rep is saying it's just one person. And what that one person does, that we don't know. But, that person, again, the representative said they get paid when their work is reviewed. Can you believe that? So, hey, so just another Diddy story, which it's making the rounds, which is not a big deal. But hey, they're reporting it. I report it to you, and we're going to go on to the next. So let's get in this Beckham story. David and Victoria Beckham. So for the past couple of years, their son Brooklyn, he's not speaking to his parents, things like that. And a couple of stuff that I heard is that it has to do with the wedding, because when they first started dating, you see all these family photos with everyone in the picture. And when they got engaged, everyone was in the picture. And they're saying that there was a fallout because, Victoria Beckham, Spice Girls from Spice Girls. She was Posh Spice from the Spice Girl. She's a designer. And apparently, I guess she wanted to design her daughter-in-law's, Nicole dress. And she was like, no, it's her day. Let her choose her dress, which shouldn't be a big deal. But, the media, they're like, oh, my God, your mother-in-law is a designer. It'd be nice to wear her dress. No, this is this woman's wedding day. Let her choose who she wants to design her dress. And I don't know if she went with Versace, but don't quote me on that. But anyways, not only that, but they're saying at the reception, Mark Anthony was there. This is alleged, right? Mark Anthony was there and he's about to perform. And he said this song is like dedicated to the most beautiful woman in the room. And a lot of people thought he was going to say the bride, Nicola, right? But instead he said the beautiful Victoria Beckham. That's what they're saying. And they said Nicola felt hurt. It's her day, her wedding. He came out to perform. To say that within the crowd, and they said she ran out crying and, things like that. On social media, Brooklyn, it looks like he loves to cook. He wants to be a chef because he's always doing cooking videos. And I always comment positive on these videos. Like, the food look delicious. It's nice. While everyone goes in on, you should be ashamed. You're going to choose a stranger, which is his wife, over your mother. How dare you not speak to your parents? And I keep saying it has to be something way deeper than that. But it's like people don't want to hear that. They see this celebrity family and it's like they're not supposed to have problems. Or if you have problems, don't take it to social media. Because if you take to social media, then anyone should be able to respond, right, to what's been saying out there because you made it public. So we're going to read this article from TMZ. Their dad, or is it the mom, just turned 50, and he was not there for that milestone. So we're going to read an article from TMZ. Now it's saying that the wife, the son's wife, Nicola, deletes Beckham family pictures from Instagram. Again, I don't think it has to do with she didn't get to make the dress or Mark Anthony, no matter how much that hurt, saying the most beautiful woman in this room is Victoria, leaving the bride like, oh, come on, my day. But we're going to read this. It says, Nicola Peltz, and she's from Billionaire. Her father's a billionaire, and, these are people who have money. She says, Nicola Peltz is starting 2026 with a clean slate and not so subtle message. The actress quietly wiped all traces of the Beckham family from her Instagram, deleting multiple posts that included her husband, Brooklyn Beckham's estranged relatives, including a once-loving birthday tribute to Victoria Beckham. Back in 2024, when Victoria turned 50, Nicola posted a crazy photo of the two with a glowing caption, "Happy birthday to my beautiful Mill." Mill, beautiful. They have it as beautiful MIL. Victoria Beckham, I love you so much and love being your dance partner forever. Victoria even responded in the comments with plenty of love and kisses. So this was after their wedding. So what, when people were like, "Oh, she was bummed out because Mark Anthony," what happened? It's something major. Fast forward to now, and that post is gone, along with every other Beckham related photo on Nicola's page. The social media cleanup comes days after Brooklyn reportedly told his famous parents to only contact him through attorneys, asking them to stop reaching out directly and to avoid making public comments about him. As TMZ first reported, sources with direct knowledge says tension between Brooklyn, Nicola, and David and Victoria remains sky high. We're told there have been zero contact or effort to reconcile, and some family members are frustrated the famous parents haven't made a serious attempt to mend fences. We wrote the story in May. Victoria believed Nicola stole her son, and drama erupted at Brooklyn in Nicola's 2022 wedding when Victoria stepped onto the dance floor during the couple's first dance, leaving Nicola in tears. So, this is confusing. Like I said, if in 2024 she wished her a happy birthday and I love being your daughter-in-law, what happened? So that wedding debacle that people are saying, allegedly, something went down major and we just don't know. And I think people put these people, not saying that you can't see good in other people, but to make it seem as if, Brooklyn, how dare you? Yes, you only have one set of parents. We get that. No one knows when you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to leave this earth knowing that you're estranged from your family. But if your family did you so wrong to the point where you need time away, even if you put that at, look, for the next 2 years, I want nothing to do with you, anything can happen, right? But if you made that decision, we're going to go 2 years without talking. If something happens, then that's something you would have to live with. And like I said, when it comes to Brooklyn on Instagram, that's where I do. Because I only have, I have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are the only, social media app I have. So when I see him on Instagram and he's making his food, every comment on there is, "You should be ashamed. Go speak to your parents." This, that, that. And I think he's in contact with is it paternal grandparents? I know he still speaks with them. And, they have a younger sister. He has a younger sister, Harper. And I think she just turned 16. And to see that it's affecting the 16-year-old. He has two other brothers, but they're over age. But you'll think with your 16-year-old sister, especially, being a girl and you have your wife and they were so close, to see that not even a relationship with the 16-year-old sister they are willing to partake in, as we know. But, for her to erase everything, like I said, it has to be something major. And every time I see him post a cooking video, the food look delicious. I will I will comment. No, something sounds off about the word. But I'm going to comment that the food looks good because that's what he's showing. Instead of 90, I would say 98% of the comments are go talk to your parents. You have a longer relationship with them than your wife. And, even though you want your kids to still have a relationship with you, when they're grown and they get married or girlfriend and start having kids of their own, you're not going to be the number one priority anymore. Their family is going to be. Mom and dad's still alive, thank God, but that's not going to be his major focus, right? So again, we don't know what's going on in these people's world. I will continue to comment on his food videos, just showing that, there's someone else watching and not just thinking about what's going through on with his family. And these are situations you don't even remember stuff like that until you go on social media and you read the chats and you're like, this is something that going on, or this is what people are talking about. So anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts? Do you think there's more to this story than Nicola being jealous because Mark Anthony said at the reception, Victoria is the most beautiful woman in the room, and because she didn't want to wear Victoria's dress, she didn't want her mother-in-law to design her dress? Tell me your thoughts. Anyways, that's it. Diddy being accused of not paying. Right now, it seems like one person allegedly. And, the Beckhams, they're a family that's going through something. It's just sad that it's public. And, everyone's going to have their opinions.